This is the Neoliberal Round Podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Neoliberal Podcast. The Neoliberal Podcast is a 501c31 non-profit company that is aimed at making popular what was a monopoly. We're part of the Neoliberal Corporation. I have some breaking news commentary as it relates to the war with Iran. This is an updated commentary because we have been providing commentary on the war, this very unpopular war. The United States is finding itself increasingly isolated as the conflict with Iran deepens. Key allies in Europe and elsewhere have shown little appetite, and we're learning this, that key allies in Europe and elsewhere have shown very little appetite for endorsing or joining Washington's military course. And European officials have publicly stressed diplomacy over escalation. Reuters reported on March 17, 2026, that the EU foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, called for a diplomatic solution around the Strait of Hormuz rather than a military response. At the same time, reporting indicates that US efforts to rally allied support have largely been rebuffed. The Associated Press reported that NATO and several major partners, including Japan, Australia, South Korea, and China, declined to join the US efforts tied to the conflict, while European leaders distanced themselves from Trump's unilateral approach. That leaves Washington, ladies and gentlemen, trying to defend not only the war itself, but the way it began. Critics argue that the United States has not publicly demonstrated that Iran posed an imminent threat warranting attack, and they point to the lack of broad international backing, the absence of consultation with Congress and allies, and the fact that diplomacy with Iran had not fully run its course. Those are now central arguments in the global debate over whether the strikes were lawful, strategic, or reckless. Some critics and diplomats have gone even further, suggesting the action violated international norms and that the United States, according to the foreign minister today of Iran, speaking in Istanbul, made the claim that the US might have committed crimes against humanity. And of course, such legal claims remain accusations and would ultimately depend on formal international findings rather than political rhetoric alone. But that is serious. President Trump, meanwhile, appears to be walking a narrow and rather windy ridge. Even as he pressed allies to help secure the Strait of Hormuz, he also signaled that the US could go forward without them. That is quite apoplectic. The US went to war, attacked Iran without consulting with the allies. And now when things are getting tricky and rocky, he's asking for their help. And because their help have been delayed or the help is not coming, now he's saying, we don't need them anyways. That contradiction has only amplified the impression of a White House scrambling to justify both the war and its growing diplomatic costs. What makes this moment so ominous is not only the violence, but the political isolation surrounding it. If the United States continues down a path of unilateral warfare while alienating the allies it never properly consulted, it risks turning a regional conflict into a broader crisis of legitimacy. Ladies and gentlemen, great powers often say they are saving the world. History, with a raised eyebrow, usually asks for receipts. And so I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail. And there's so much happening in the world today. And we are delving into chaos. Is this what America wanted? Is this the kind of is this exceptional leadership? John Maxwell wrote the book, The 20 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and the 12 and Indispensable Laws of Leadership. And I think Donald Trump needs to read John Maxwell books on leadership, because he probably will learn a thing or two about what true leadership means. I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Neoliberal podcast. This particular article will be available in the Neoliberal journals, and I'm also working on an op-ed that is going to be published shortly. Visit us at theneoliberal.com and renaldocmckenzie.com. Also, for the podcast, you can find us on any stream. Find your stream by going to anchor.fm/theneoliberal, or you can find us on YouTube at Renaldo McKenzie. Please support us and email me at info@theneoliberal.com. Welcome.